Welcome to episode 2 of Blue Rose. This is day 2. Let's go back to the story. The rest of the day passes. The next time I reluctantly accept the tea from Tobias, and although it is the best I have tasted, here isn't anything particularly wrong about it. After spending more time in the room feeling anxious, not knowing what's going on outside, I made a decision to get up in the next morning. I pushed myself out of bed and grimaced in pain as I tried to stand on my right leg, moving slowly with one hand leaning on the wall. I managed to get to my way to the door. Man, this is pathetic. Being weak like this really doesn't suit me, and I refuse to just lie still and wait. Then I noticed something next to the door, as makeshift crutch made thick branches leaning against the wall. It looks like it was made for me. I picked it up and continued. On the other side of the door, it looks like a small and simple kitchen. By the table in the middle of the room are two chairs, and one of them sits Tobias.
You're up.
Yes.
You shouldn't be walking around. You're still hurt.
I don't intend to lie there forever.
Fine, take a seat. I was about to bring you breakfast anyways.
I sit in the chair opposite to him and watch as he brings some bread and cheese to the table. He also puts the kettle over the fire and soon pours me over a cup of strange tea, and sends another suspicious look at me, places the cup before me. What are you doing up here all alone?
I'm a hunter.
That doesn't explain much.
That's how it is.
What an unfriendly character, but I honestly do not want to know if he found any clues to what came of the others. If he is a hunter, then maybe he's seen these things, then wandering about in the mountain. So, you were hunting when you found me?
Yes, obviously.
Have you... I hesitate and still not sure how much I could trust this guy.
You don't have to be so suspicious of me. I don't care if you come from one side or the other. Of if you are a nun or a warrior. As long as you concentrate on getting better as soon as you go on your way, we can all be happy.
With an outburst, Tobias rises to the chair and clears his plate on the table. He then grabs a bag near the door and turns his back to me.
I have to go. Remember to drink your tea.
The door closes and I am alone. For a second, I sit and stare at the door. What is that? What an idiot. As I need to help some kind of person, he walks away without giving me a chance to respond. Takes my weapon and treats me like this. My head starts hurting again, probably because I let myself get riled up. I decide to return to my room. We have been traveling for 3 days on foot already. We brought only 2 horses with us to the mountains, one carrying some of our supplies, the other used to transport our client wherever possible. It's really quiet. Don't worry, lady. I have advanced with satisfactory speed so far. You will be home soon. Yes, you are right. I stop for a moment's closer look at the surroundings. Despite that, I said to her, I cannot help but feel terrible. Restless myself, Simon walks up to me.
What is it, Aaliyah? Are we not supposed to stop for rest yet?
Yes, I know.
You don't seem too enthusiastic for the mission.
No, sir, it's just... I shoot a glance at the woman riding the horse in front of us. And to be honest, I don't believe this will change anything. I want to stay here, where I make a difference.
This may very well make a huge difference for us, Lena. If we get here, people on our side, we will gain the major advantage, especially if we make sure that Elena doesn't hear about it too soon.
Somehow, I just find it hard to believe that she will be able to convince anyone.
Have some faith, Lena. There's some things that can't be solved with raw strength alone. She may not look like it, but she's an influential ambassador. Her family has some very powerful ties.
Yes, I'm sorry. I should be saying something like this.
It's alright. I know you, Lena. And if there's nothing I will never doubt to your loyalty, just remember that not everyone knows that well.
With that, he leaves me and rejoins the others. I just watch from behind as he takes the lead. Will this really change anything? Day 3. The next day, I walk out to the kitchen once again, but Tobias has already left. I wonder what he does all day. But that's not what bothers me. Staying alone inside the silent house does bother me though, so I decide to open the front door outside, step out for once. I lean up against the clutch that Tobias made for me and observe the area. The sun is shining again today. The pleasant breeze brushes through the leaves and grass. It's truly a middle of nowhere. How far is this from the path where I fell? It will take forever to get back to civilization, especially while I'm in this shape. I'm stuck. I decide to shove the negative thoughts aside. Instead of brooding about this, I should try to find out where I am. No use in wasting time like this. Tobias probably won't be back until tonight anyways. That's how it usually is. I started walking. Not too far from the cottage, I ascend a small hill as I head further in between the trees. Soon the scenery opens up for me, and soon I come upon the mountains, lake, and the forest. A short trip has already taken its toll on me. I lean up against a tree near the lake, silently cursing how weak I am. I need to get better soon. I have to find out what happened to the others. In many cases, I will have to go back and report what occurred. Someone other than me has got to survive. I bit my lip. Suddenly, something catches my attention. Almost like a shadow, there is a movement. Suddenly, the bushes. Was it just me? Again, the corner of my eye, I catch a hint of something moving. I quickly turn my head, but I didn't see anything. My heart starts beating faster. My body is tense. I prepare myself for whatever it is, possibly some animal living in the forest. Bereft in the encounter with the dragon, I should feel. I should keep my guard up. There, I hear a faint rustle in the bushes right. Somewhere between the trees, slowly I grab my crutch and advance towards the sound. I still can't see anything, but it continues to draw me in. I pass between the trees, leaves, and lake behind. Further ahead, I see hints of movement, darted between the bushes and follow it upwards. Is it teasing me? No, it is my imagination. Before long, the trees thin out, and soon find myself on top of a slope, which overlooks a valley nested between the mountains. And the valley isn't empty as expected. I was looking down at the small settlements in the distance. A village? There shouldn't be any settlements up here. It's a very small, but definitely there. From here, I see people moving between the houses. It seems lively. For a moment, it appeared the village filled me with doubt. Have I come further than I thought? Am I still in Tavas? Hesitating for a moment, I finally decided to descend the slope. I wander slowly in the village, while watching my surroundings in disbelief. This place shouldn't exist. Some of the people I pass by are sending me curious glances, all of them obviously aware I'm not from around here. I found sanctuary. Achievement unlocked. I instantly notice how almost everything here looks new. Are these people pioneers? A shadow of the crowd draws my attention. A figure looks detached from the world around him. He slowly passes through, unnoticed by the villagers, and they of no importance to him. The man lifts his head and eyes met across the distance. A smile surfaces on his face before he turns away and leaves the main street, disappearing out of sight. What was that? I take a careful glance around, wondering if there was something funny about me. What would make him do that? Oh well. It's you! I jumped a little, clear my voice calling out for me. As I turn around, I see a girl standing a few meters around looking directly at me. She approached me. Some of the people looked obviously surprised at the fact that this girl appeared to know me. Hello, I'm so happy to see that you're up and well, and I was really worried about Tobias. Brought you in. I almost thought you wouldn't make it. You? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Aaron. I helped Tobias take you in when he first found you. I remember now, Tobias saying that there's a woman who changed my clothes. In spite of him later telling me that he lives alone, he must have bitten this girl. I thank you, Aaron. Sorry, Tobias didn't tell me about you, so I'm a little surprised. What? He didn't? That's so typical of him. But oh well, you're fine now, and that's all that counts. Where is he? I don't know. He left the cottage before me. I shoot a glance around my surroundings. I didn't know there was supposed to be any towns in this mountain. Oh, I see. Of course he wouldn't have mentioned it. Suddenly, Aaron nervously averts his eyes, as if remembering something. Tobias said he was the only one living here. This is part of the village as well. Tobias protects this place. He's most likely never intended to let you know it existed. What's your name? Oh right, I'm Lena. Welcome, Lena. Aaron lights up and she smiles at me. I hope we'll get better soon. And if you ever... I hope you get better soon. If you ever feel like it, drop by my place and we'll make you something to eat. I nod and return with a curious smile. Thank you, Lena. You should be careful. Even though it's mostly a peaceful place, there are all kinds of dangerous creatures living in these parts. Usually, they stay away from the village, but people like Tobias patrol the perimeters to make sure that no one runs into these hostile animals. I'll be fine. Oh, my sister must have been impatient by now. I'm off. See you again, Lena. Aaron waves and hurries off. I'm once again on my own in this strange, slow place, wondering what to do. What next? Where am I? Is something so new, a hidden village in the mountains? Wondering about this, I make my way to the road, watching life pass around me. Almost everyone continues to stare at me. It's obvious that I'm a new face here. It makes me almost uncomfortable. Close to the edge, the village between two houses, a couple of children playing. One of them is chasing around the hen. Marty, you're scaring it away. Mom will be mad at us. Shut up! I'll get it. Don't be such a spoiled sport. Ah, look out! The den dashes out. The boy yells and is sinister and heads towards the tree line. Oh, come on! What was that? And I'm about to move on. I feel unsettling presence. I turn back to the children and something moving in the bushes near the fleeing hen. Wait! I go after them in a pace that seems tormentally slow to me. The boy was cornered the hen by the tree and a couple meters ahead. Ha! See? I told you I'd catch it. He probably moves towards to get a hold of the panicked hen, and there it is. The bushes behind the boy rustled. Something comes lunging out. Ah! Marley! The crude crutches swing and arch in the air, pouncing to attack the shadow, whatever is flying. The boy looks back
at the spectacle. His mouth opens in surprise. Ah! My clutch used to as a mock-up sword. I suddenly lose my balance and I step down on my bad leg. Pain shoots through my leg. I bite my teeth together and I stumble backwards. But instead of falling on the ground, my back bumps into something. I feel my arm being caught from below, keeping me from falling over. Take it easy there. You don't like when you're in the state fit for jumping around like that. Huh? I opened my eyes and realized I had fallen on the arms of a stranger. That was some string. You alright? The teasing tone of his voice made me frown in annoyance. Would you be so kind and let me go? The man grins at my complaint. So cold. You sure you could stand? He helps me as I find my balance with the clutch. I turn around and see him more clearly. Still, that was impressive, even it was only a small one. It wasn't fast enough to do anything about it. I didn't get the proper looks at the thing before it was set flying. There was some sort of creature I didn't know, probably one of those hostile animals Heron was talking about. It was most likely the thing that had been aiming at the hen, not the boy. Had it been threatening presence that I felt? Could I have been wrong? Then I noticed the man is standing there watching me. You're not from around here, are you? Well, I'm pretty new here myself, but I'm sure would have noticed someone like you. No. You would say I just arrived today. I see. My name is Gavin, and you are? Lena. Lena, nice to meet you. It's not every day you get to see a new face around this town, and excuse me for saying this, but I can't help but get the impression that you've had a rough start in these parts. He makes a small nod towards my bandages. Hasn't been an easy trip. Yes, well, I have my difficulties on my way here. He laughs lightheartedly. Wow, that was amazing! I looked down and noticed the two kids from before, the boy holding the hen in his arms. Where did you learn to do that, miss? That's... you. The second time today, someone calls me in that manner. Annoyed, I turn my head, see some familiar appearing in the trees not far away. Tobias?
What are you doing here?
His face makes it surprise and anger. This is the first time I've seen him riled up like this, and he hastily approaches us.
You were supposed to stay at the cottage.
You can't tell me what to do. I leave if I want to. Huh? You know each other? Gavin looks both surprised and amused by this. Tobias shoots him up at the angrily glare.
And you stay out of this. This is none of your business.
None of my business? And what is this place? None of my business.
What?
You told me you lived alone, and you alone found me and brought me back. So what's of this town?
You're right. It is none of your business. All of you have to do is get better and go back from where you came from. Your kind has nothing to do here.
My kind?
Hey, we're going a little overboard here, Tobias. Why don't you go a nice lady? Give the nice lady a break. You shouldn't be yelling at a woman when she's hurt.
To shooting Gavin another icy stare, Tobias finally backs down.
Fine, do whatever you want.
And then he turns around and leaves the spot.
Oh my, he was certainly in a good mood.
I just stand there looking in the direction where Tobias disappeared.
Well, I guess it's time. When we get back to town, what you say?
Gavin nudges the kids who have been watching our quarrel with wide eyes. Yeah, alright. He turns and looks at me.
What of you? What about you?
Going to stand there?
Shortly after, I found myself in a small inn. Some of it looks like it's under construction, but it's already in use. Gavin placed a small table near the wall. You can see another familiar face approach us. Oh, there you are again. Just sit tight, I'll get you something good. You work here? My sister and I run the place, so just relax, this is on me. Erin disappears out of sight before she returns with 2 plates of dinner for us. Enjoy! Thank you, Erin. That was nice of you. Don't mention it. Oh, by the way, did you remember to drink your tea? Tea? Yeah, I believe I gave Tobias some tea for you. Oh, that was from you? My sister made it, and she's really good at herbs and healing. If you drink it, you'll get better much faster. Thank you, I'll remember that. Erin smiles and turns to their duties. So the tea had come from her, too.
You know her, too?
Oh, not really. Just seems that she was the person who helped me when I got hurt.
I see. You're pretty straight far from the mountains when you got hurt. What were you doing all the way up here? Looks like I shouldn't be asking you that just yet. Oh well, everyone has their own reasons for being here.
Reasons?
Yeah, isn't it obvious? This is a village full of secrets.
He says with a teasing smirk, as if making fun of me. But this has made a point. A hidden village up in the way in the mountains. I can't imagine why anyone would settle down in such a secluded place without good reason. I'm still not sure what kind of place I have ended up in. So, what is your reason for being here?
Mine?
Good question.
One, I'm afraid I can't quite answer that yet.
I watch him carefully. There's something in this guy that tells me to stay on my guard, but I'm not sure what it is. At the end of the day, I return to the cottage. Tobias is inside. He is cleaning one of the hunting knives. He's doing his best to ignore my entrance. I'm not going to let him off that easy, though. Why? He finally looks up.
Why what?
Why didn't you tell me about the village?
Because I didn't intend to let anyone like you know about it.
Did you really believe you could bring me here and I wouldn't notice if you were so against someone of my kind coming here? Then you should have left me lying where you found me.
Trust me, I'm beginning to believe I should have.
The man seriously pisses me off. Ever since I got here, he's acted this way towards me. I'm seriously beginning to doubt why he even bothered saving me in the first place. Then give me my sword and I'll leave.
Leave?
He jumps in the chair.
Walk out on the condition and you'll die.
If you're complaining about your things...
If you're complaining about your things again, I already put them in your room for you.
Good. And I immediately turned around and headed to the room, not sparing him another glance. As she said, I found all my things on the chair in the room, my sword lying on top of the damaged uniform. I pick it up and watch the silence, as it's strange, but almost as if the sword contains an important part of me. Only when it is here do I feel secure. What's a sensible way of putting it? I put the sword aside and sigh, and take a look at the uniform. It's a bad shape after my fall from the cliff, but most of the blisters have been removed. Apparently Tobias or Erin washed and fixed it for me. Most likely Erin. I can't imagine Tobias doing that much for me. Looking through the things, I realize my daggers are missing. Almost lost it in the fall. The polished surface of the shield-shaped emblem glazes the sun, reflects the symbol of the rose engraved on the front, proof I am the Templar. On the other side of the emblem is a blank and smooth. I watch the untouched surface with a deep thought. This is the symbol of my family, was supposed to be, the crest of every other Templar that has been engraved from their emblems for identification. I remember seeing Simone's emblem once, thinking how beautiful his crest family crest had been. Blank page looking at my emblem always reminds me of this. My little trip has worn me out more than I initially thought.
My head is hurting again and I'm feeling awfully tired. I don't feel like I'm gonna walk into Tobias again, so I put my emblem back in its place and decide to lay down on the bed, resting for the evening. Tell me, Rose. Darkness is falling on the camp for the day. Adele is sitting on the front of the fire in the cup of tea position. Request and I approach her. The Rose? Yes, I don't know all there is much about Cored, apart from how the Templars of the Blue Rose are supposed to be exceptional warriors with special powers. But what really are? I'd like to know. I watch the flames while considering how to best explain it. The rose is what we Templars draw our power. It is the source of our energy. That's what we can connect with and thereby do things we could otherwise not be capable of. This is a gift. Energy? You mean like magic? Adele watches me curiously. I've heard that the country of Kater has been very strict views on magic in the coast, even more so than Tevens. Only their presents are allowed the kind of magic, but it's very weak. Through small verses of prayer, you can draw magic from objects called symbols and use it for different purposes. In the end, the views are very otherworldly things aren't so different in the two countries, just the degree of what is acceptable and not. No, not exactly. I'll tell you the story of the rose if you're interested. Go on. I need to pass the time anyways. I take a small pause and recall the story before I begin. The way I heard it the first time I remember it so clearly. It was years ago when I was still a little girl, running, walking, coming upon the tall statue, a beautifully shaped woman in stone holding a rose in its hand, eyes closed. Her look both serene and beautiful stood in the hall, as if time didn't move around her. Who is that? The old caretaker smiled at my question.
That is Lady Evelyn. She is the reason why Templars of the Blue Rose even exist.
The Templars? How so?
Well, a very long time ago, there was a great war of Tevez. Lady Evelyn had lived peaceful in her lord's castle, far away from the front. But soon the war moved closer and closer to her home. To Tevez was closing the fight. And the day the castle itself under siege, overrun by enemy soldiers, the enemy was ruthless, destroyed everything that they went. They even burnt down Lady's beautiful rose garden. As all seemed to be lost, and many others, including the Lord, had evacuated the castle, Evelyn has stayed behind, along with the loyal knights guarding her. They called those knights to her and prayed for a while, holding the very last blue rose in the garden in her hand. As she prayed on this beautiful rose, the knights felt renewed energy granted to them, and they returned to the battlefield while Evelyn sat and prayed. Suddenly the tides turned, and the knights fought a brave battle with a power never seen before. The enemy was defeated, and the last survivor fled. Those knights are said to be the ones later formed the Templars of the Blue Rose, and they still bow the power of the rose whenever they go to battle.
Why did they stay behind?
I don't know. Maybe it's a strong fate from the beginning that she had been able to make it.
Looking up at the beautiful statue, I think at the moment she had become something like an idol to me. Evelyn, Lady Evelyn, and her flower. That's it. In short, yes. That doesn't really explain anything at all. She furrows her brow in discontent and continues to stare at the bonfire. In short, Lady Evelyn's prayer still exists, protecting the knights fighting for her home. Those who train and pledge her loyalty to her will
to be able to form the connection with the rose and make use of its powers. Then you could do it too, I take it. Of course, milady, otherwise I wouldn't be a Templar. I guess that's true. I guess for a moment I felt tempted to snap back at her, but instead I continued my explanation in an attempt to change the topic away from me. Well, in practice, we Templars make sure that the connection is to draw out strength from the energies of nature around us. That is the gist of it. What about someone like me? Could a normal person like me learn to do that? That's a hard question to answer, milady. It takes such determination and training to discipline to be able to form the connection. And then, when you finally make the attempt, according to the teachings, you will still only be able to do it if Lady Evelyn accepts you. Is that so? So anyone can do it. Is she even listening to me? It would be fun to try. Ah yes, it would, wouldn't it? As if I would ever get the chance. She laughs as she makes a bitter smile. I get the impression she's taking more of this on herself than me now, and deduce that from this that the conversation is over. Leaving her alone, I leave my head back, staring at the dark sky. Night falls and countless stars are glittering above us in the mountains. There's still a long way before we reach our goal. That's episode 2. See you next time. Thank you for watching.